It's activity, little
Long.
lightning strikes. Hello, folks. We are here, Phil and I. Uh, we're going to what? Talk about gossiping.
Oh yeah, we're gonna gossip.
How gossiping can get your team unstuck and moving again. This came out of a conversation or something I saw on the internet, and my interpretation of why they it was a video. Let me slow down. It was
Hmm.
a video about why humans develop language.
Mm.
And they went blah blah blah. Then from what even put Noam Chomsky and his language acquisition center or
Yes,
something.
language acquisition model.
Some which folks I know Noam Chomsky is well known and all that, but I literally studied him heavily back when I wrote my dissertation. And you can't make up parts of the brain. And then study says that you can't do that. that's that's not okay. Like like the amygdala, like we have here, where you can go in surgically and you can find the amygdala.
Yep.
You can find the prefrontal cortex. You can find brain parts, but you cannot find a language acquisition center. You
Yeah.
can't even really, except for I just sort of know you don't know about Wernicke's and Broca's area, which are the parts of the brain that do have to do with language, but you can't see them as structures. Anyway, I digress. So they went on and on. And my favorite one was that humans develop language to gossip. Bingo.
Yeah.
And you say, well, why would Kevin say that? Because the anthropologists who have gone and studied cultures know that all cultures gossip, all languages gossip.
Across all settings and populations, as we've
Right.
observed.
There is no place on the earth where you go find humans and you won't find them gossiping. And so it's a little like we all think, well, gossiping is nothing. Maybe not. Maybe it's a really big thing. Maybe it's like the important thing. And just because it's social, that's why it's social. It's establishing and maintaining and grooming or whatever you want to call it, social connections.
All those things.
And and so that's why. And so that's why it pertains to what Phil and I do, which is work with stuck teams. Okay. And so now I'll do like one of them YouTube things. Now, it's like for a commercial break, uh, down below. Hey, I lost my additional. Whoa, am I still there with you?
Oh yeah, you're on. I see you.
Okay, I gotta get rid of that. I clicked on the thing. Click here for early access. What it's early access for is our new ProSocial training, and man, I had that. Maybe I forgot to
Oh, put it in the studio.
click for early access to ProSocial training. Save. How weird. Save. There you go.
It goes straight to it. Yeah.
I did it.
Yep.
And you'll even save $500. So if you're interested, click. It'll take you to our newest landing page. You'll find in the middle the course, and when you click about getting early access or something, it'll go to a form, and you fill out a form, and we'll get the email from said form. And here in the next few weeks, we'll fire up so
We'll
you can
launch it.
we'll launch the course and you can actually get in it. And for people who want to be early adopters, or that's an internet term, isn't it?
Yeah.
Early, what are we calling them?
We'll call them founders.
Founders. Their founders is nice too. Founding members of that or of that training. You know, a little touch more than 50% off. So
Yeah, it's a
it's a
good
good
deal.
deal. And you don't have, if just to fill out the form costs you nothing.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Yeah,
you
we don't
never,
ask for credit cards or anything like that.
right. I mean, never buy. It's fine
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
But we'll know you're interested in this
Yes.
kind of work.
Yep.
Uh, because there is just stuck teams everywhere. Uh, and any of us that work in any environment, uh, well, that has two or more people, uh,
We've narrowed it down.
narrowed it down to two or more people, but especially ones where you're having these team meetings or they're doing whatever. And there's a good, well, research would indicate more than half are stuck in some way or another, are not performing at their full potential.
Right.
Uh, and I don't just mean in terms of making widgets either. Uh, that would mean you're making enough widgets and the people there are happy.
Yeah.
I'll just use that term.
Yeah.
They're happy. They're happy to be there, working with other people, making widgets, whatever the widgets are. Uh, and so, if you study, and lots of people do, uh, workplaces, what is it, like 70% or more?
That's usually the figure. It's
Right.
hovering right around there. It's been pretty
Don't fit
consistent.
that. Don't fit that.
Yeah.
And so what's the problem with people not being happy? Well, then they leave.
Yeah.
And when people leave, then you got to replace them, and that's expensive. And unless you're like McDonald's and you've just calculated in
Yeah.
a big
Lost
turnover rate,
employees, right.
but if you're got electrical engineers or something and they start quitting on you, yikes!
Yep. Yeah, you can
They're expensive to replace and
yep.
train and do all that stuff. So you want to keep your folks around, and of course, got to make enough widgets and sell enough widgets to stay in business.
Yeah.
So it's a complicated uh, thing. And so Phil and I work with said teams of people. Could be nonprofits too. It doesn't mean they have to be making a profit. We work with plenty of nonprofits.
Oh my God. Yeah.
They still got to do their outputs, whatever they are.
Yep.
You know,
It's still people.
it's still people doing something together and looking for success. So we have it on the right side of the matrix there. So back to a huge part of that is gossip, because we know that each one of those teams gossips. And if they're not gossiping, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we say how gossiping can get your team unstuck and moving again. Okay, so if it's spiraled down to nobody's even gossiping, sorry. Well, that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
That's a big problem.
That's a red flag, as we like.
Yeah, that's a big red flag there. Because people are miserable at that point. They've
Yeah.
given up gossiping.
Yeah.
Or when they do gossip, they don't gossip. They, well, they're very cynical. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Jaded, whatever your term is.
Jaded, cynical. It's not what we would call gossip. It's people getting together and griping. Gripes is another.
Yeah.
Gripes, and they're very cynical about everything. Well, if you've been around one of these teams, you guys know what it is.
Or maybe you're currently in one of those teams.
Maybe. I mean, I certainly have been part of them.
Yeah.
And I've certainly been in management and stuff, trying to not have that. It's tricky. Sort of kind of tricky. It's not so tricky if you know what Phil and I know, then it's not as tricky. But it is tricky if you don't. And so how do you get people gossiping?
Well, see, There's two people on. Maybe they might want to pose a thought here.
I did not put in my chat. I forgot to
Anybody would
do my
like to?
chat.
Yeah, I did.
You did too.
I did.
I'll say hello. Hello. Um, There we go. I put in mine.
Yeah, there we go. We're on.
I'm up in Maine. So there's a couple of people on with us. Like gossiping wasn't that big a topic. Big secret, folks. If even if people don't show up, this creates a recording for us. We use the recording. Uh, we we know how to be efficient and keep things going. So, how do you get people gossiping? Well, one, you got to allow them time to gossip.
Yep.
Because if you don't provide a forum for folks to gossip, then and I don't mean you get people in a room and say, okay, I'm ordering you to gossip.
Right.
I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Well, it used to be back in the day, you gather around the water cooler, right?
The classic is the water cooler. That's
You get there in the morning, and
of course they even put that in sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
People gathered around the water cooler, gossiping stuff, and that's usually a couple, two or three people, right? Because that's about the room there is around a water cooler.
Right. Or the break room is another place where
now people go in the break room, and here you go. They go in a break room, lunch room, where they can sit down, and maybe they're having a snack or a meal, and now they can start to gossip, okay, and get. And what you would hope is they gossip about friendly stuff. They'll kvetch stuff about what's going on in the world, and price of groceries is going up, and like that kind of stuff going on. But just the regular gossip that people do to get connectedness. They get connected that way. So that's why apparently gossip is very important. All cultures gossip, and so if you remove the gossip out of a workplace, there's trouble. And Phil and I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's a dour kind of place where that isn't happening.
So one, you set up the context, and if you're in management or whatever, you just got to be accepting that it's okay for people to spend some time gossiping, getting together and talking friendly. You call it what you want, but in the end, it'll be some gossiping. But it's okay. So what's the number one thing that happens in some workplaces? Well, you get some, what do we like to call them, Phil? Like a clipboard carrying manager.
Oh, yeah. They're popular. They come striding in.
They're probably a joke in sitcoms too, but when I came from in the VA, there really was some people like that.
Yeah. What are they? Efficiency experts. Isn't that kind of right?
That's it. And then now I call them the people who manage by spreadsheets.
Right.
Okay. And then, of course, they drop the clipboard and they send you emails.
Right.
So based on our most current data from our spreadsheet, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
That doesn't go over well, folks.
No.
So they've replaced their clipboards with emails about spreadsheets and stuff. So no. And of course it doesn't, it means your quotas or our success or our quality assurance numbers or the list goes on and on. If you're in a workplace, you get these things.
Not your usuals.
And of course, we're in a data-rich environment right now. There's lots of data around. And so bean counters, that's what I was
I was going to say that earlier, but yeah,
Well, though that's an old term.
yeah.
Of course, that's ancient. Literally, the original folks that why does it want back to click here for early access again, Phil? Why is that?
I don't know. Got no idea.
That's weird.
Hmm.
It's got a mind of its own.
It does.
Anyway, uh, so anyway, bean counters. That's how all this got started. Was folks counting grain.
Yeah.
If you want to blame anybody for the ills of human civilization, it's accountants.
Right.
Because they're the first ones that started counting the beans of the crops, right? And once you get into doing that, now you get into efficiency of growing crops.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah. We got to get more beans.
And right, it's this downhill from there.
Yeah, that's right.
So bean counters, and they of course they exist today, and they come up, and they're gossip killers, right? Because in their eyes, gossiping is not efficient.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't get the widgets made.
Doesn't support the right where they want it.
Right, and so that's the first thing that. And this is the stuff we talk about all the time. And until you get management on board with it's okay for people to talk and to gossip and to have some
interaction,
some positive interactions.
right?
So why? Well, now we've come to it because it settles their amygdalas down.
Yeah,
that's what Bill put in a picture over there.
In the middle.
So the gossip is for settling. Because think of yourself when you get in a good gossip session. I mean, gossip. You're not on guard.
You're relaxed.
You're relaxed. Right. Relaxed means your amygdala has settled down.
Right.
And with that settled down amygdala, you're actually more available to do creative things in your work.
Everything opens up.
Everything, right? Everything. You're actually a higher functioning human being because you've gotten that amygdala out of the way. Yeah. Unless you just need to be running and and fighting and fleeing.
Oh yeah. Well, then it's like everything else shuts off and you get the heck out, right?
If that's your work output, it's right.
Well, if you're doing if you're MMA person, something like that.
Yeah. Other than that, no. Amygdalas are good for camaraderie in workplaces.
No,
setting up an environment where you get the most work done, the most efficiently, and still keep people happy. So if you just give a workplace that they don't give a flip about people being happy, they just want to get the widgets made. Phil and I spot those pretty quick, and we make our presentation and get back out of there.
Or we try to avoid them if we can.
Right. Yeah, we would avoid those if we could. We would. Because we know we can't change them.
Yeah.
We can't change that. This is not miracle stuff. But if you get people that at least they get that, they get it, they just don't know how to get there. Well, now we're good. Now we can show them how to do it. So one, set up an environment where people can talk. One. But now in another venue where you're doing some training, you have Phil and I come in, or one of you who want to be a ProSocial kind of person.
Absolutely.
And you want to do it. And this is what we do. Teach them the matrix. Teach it to them. It's very handy. And it doesn't take very long. You just teach them the matrix. And actually, in this one, we have shared purpose. You start with who's important.
Right.
Where you start the presentation, and we begin with that. So, so on the landing page, if you click on the thing, you'll see that we actually outline a little bit about what we do, and we violate social norms. So the social norms, if you bring folks like us or yourself in, if you're going to be a pro-social trainer, it's like, well, let's talk about the problem first. Well, we can give you a bit of advice. Don't do that.
Yeah. Amygdalas don't like that.
Amygdala, that's why Phil got it. Amygdalas don't like that. They, they don't at all.
Screeching.
Yeah, you can see the room just shut
Oh,
down and
yeah.
get more stuck when you start talking about the problem. Because somebody's going to get a finger pointed at them. It's going to be somebody's fault. Yeah. And it's certainly not my fault.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking around for somebody else to blame as quickly as I can.
Yeah, which is of course fleeing, right?
Right. Yes.
Fight or flee. Yeah. That's
now you're doing amygdala based behavior. Right?
And so
throw somebody else under the bus.
Right. Now here comes the bus. And we'll throw some people under it. And it like this don't no.
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 Don't
do that. Now, in workplaces all around the world, so far today, there has been many meetings where they started with the problem.
Yep.
And they probably didn't get very far as far as solving the problem. They didn't get it. And I'm not saying they'll never get there, but they could sure get there a lot easier. The path to getting to the fixing their problem could be a lot easier if they would lay off starting. And they're certainly not gossiping. Once you say, let's talk about the problem, nobody's going to gossip. Nobody's going to have any fun. No. They're all going to shut down. So,
not me.
so you say, who's important? I need you to do who's important, and the lower left is yucky stuff, and the upper left is what do we do to get relief from the yucky stuff, and then the upper right's what do we do for success. So you take folks around that. Second loop is shared purpose. Then the other three are the same thing, except in the upper right, you're talking about what can we do for success. Okay. We've already told you one of the things you do for success is you do the activities to make the widgets, whatever they are. The other is you do the activities for personal connections. That's if you don't do that, you're going to have an unhappy workplace. Unhappy means triggered amygdalas, meaning people not working at their optimum.
Yep.
You may think you're doing a really good job making the widgets, but you're not doing the best job making the widgets because the people are unhappy. They're just not as productive. And so back to show them that. Okay, show it to them. So now you've planted a seed. This is what this is a seed. And Phil and I have seen this seed sprout.
and take off.
And what happens is people are in the break room. Now they're gossiping,
yep.
having a good time, and somebody thinks of the Matrix.
Yep.
Bingo. Okay. And the Matrix includes both social and shared purpose. What are we here for? To get things done. It includes both. So now you can have constructive gossiping that not only builds relationships, but also can help, with ideas about how to do things better, how to
creativity,
be more creative. So it's a seed. So we're not saying tell people they have to gossip with the Matrix. That just doesn't sound very appealing.
No, there's no fun in that.
However, if at other times you show the Matrix, it'll leak into the gossip.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but remember, you got to give opportunities for gossip. Break rooms, people were can sit and you know have a snack together or something. Take the time to visit with each other, and when the person with the clipboard comes around, tell them to knock that off. Those bean counters are a rough crew. They just don't get it.
No.
They don't get this, and so you have to work with them. Everybody's there for a reason. I'll give you that, but still. And so now there it is, and that's how you have constructive gossip. But what constructive gossip all by itself is constructive, because if people are gossiping, they're connecting. And I'm not talking malicious gossip, and that's
No.
not. That's more the cynical stuff and hurting people. I'm not just a general gossiping along, and there you got connections. We're building social connections, and now just maybe they use the matrix.
There you
It works. Now I know it sounds crazy, and I actually get self-conscious about saying it because I happened to develop the thing back in 2009. Uh, this week I heard again about how it's working for somebody.
Yeah. Yep. I just got off a call with somebody earlier today. Same thing.
Yeah, I thought, I just
This is
like,
working for me.
yeah, this is really working. And I go, oh yeah, I hear that a lot, which I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
And my thing is that I haven't gotten lightning to strike for a forest fire of matrix use to take off.
Mm.
Okay, I mean, you hit a forest with a lightning strike, but believe it or not, folks, almost all lightning strikes don't amount to anything. Even if you strike in a dry forest, they don't
Yep.
amount to anything. But every once in a while, boom, whole forest fire. Phil and I haven't managed to create a forest fire level
Matrix event.
adoption of the use of the matrix.
Right? Yeah.
And you could say all kinds of different things. So what do? We just keep on trying, and we keep recruiting people to join us and get trained uh, and do it. We've trained quite a few people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. We've just this new way that we're doing it's just tighter. Would you say that?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We streamlined it even more.
Well, we we made it better.
We trimmed it up.
So it's there. I mean, we'll have it out pretty quickly where you can get it. So it's cool if you want to join and do this kind of work. And you can actually go do this kind of work without it. We're not saying you can't take the matrix and go use it with organizations. Of course you can, and other people have. So if you'll notice, we're not trying to be your typical capitalists because it would be antithetical to what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't. We won't. We just don't do it that way. But if you want to come learn with us and really learn the ins and outs and the stuff going on under the hood, and so you really have a deep knowledge of what's going on in the four quadrants and the two lines and all the stuff going on,
Yep.
then you would come join us and talk about it, because I dare say we're the primary source for all of that deep dive stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to get it anywhere else.
And I have seen people sort of kind of allude to deep dive stuff maybe, but I'll just be honest, they're getting it wrong. That's not, I more than any other human on this earth, I know the deep dive stuff. I know where it came from. We'll teach you. Phil knows it too, so we'll do that. So anyway, gossip, and this is one of the things that comes out. It's like, oh my gosh, gossip is so important. Let's have so workplaces that aren't don't have gossiping going on are stuck.
Oh yeah. You can see it when you walk in,
Yeah,
and you can feel it when you walk in.
yeah. Bill and I, yeah, we've done enough of this to know, yeah, you can feel it. Right. It's no fun. And as a matter of fact, if we walk into some place and we can tell that they're gossiping and they're having a good time and they're getting stuff done, well, we'll stay around and
Oh yeah.
have fun with them, but they'll adopt the matrix and
Yeah.
other things and they'll do well anyway.
They pick it up.
There's a few out there, 20, 30% of work teams that are, oh, they're doing okay. And we know, we'll tell them you're doing okay. They'll leave 70% who are not doing okay. 30% are awful, just awful shape. And some in such awful shape that we really can't help them. Not, they'll just take our stuff and not use it.
Yeah.
But easy solution for them. They just won't use it. They won't pick it up. They'll know better. What do you mean I can't talk about the problem?
Right.
And they'll go in and beat people over the head with the problem.
Yeah. Right. That's my own. That's my sword talking about the problem.
That's my story. And they'll go in with colorful spreadsheets. And
Absolutely. Let's get the PowerPoints out.
oh no, death by PowerPoint. That's the other. No, Phil and I don't use PowerPoints, by the way, presentation.
Well, we did. We got this. This is as close as we get to a PowerPoint.
They're the oh my god, they're right. They're the PowerPoint. It's a single slide PowerPoint.
Yeah, an image.
That would be that's what we do. We don't do PowerPoints. Why? Because they get in the way of developing social interaction
and the conversations that we are encouraging people to have with each other.
Right? Our whole thing is not about having people simply sit and stare at a PowerPoint. And then every once in a while you'll ask, is there any questions? Well, we've all been there.
Yep.
And then there's that one person who always has a question.
Right.
And you want to kill them.
You're right, because everybody else knows not to ask any questions. They want to get through the darn PowerPoint.
We want to get through this and get out of here. All right. So ours is, we might have a slide up, but we're interacting with it. I mean, we're not just people reading it. I mean, we're having people take who's important to you and put it up on the board. Yucky stuff goes up on the board. Pretty soon, we've got it active. We want to engage the process, and we do. We're very good at that. If I dare say, yeah, we're good at that. And so no sitting there just lecturing to people. But that's another thing. That's a social norm we violate
all the time,
in the nicest of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Bill came up with that.
Yeah,
we violate social norms. ... in the nicest of ways.
Gentle violations.
People don't mind us violating.
They don't even realize that we're violating.
No, they don't even realize we're violating. But we are. We know we are. Another one, and this is early on in the training, Phil and I, if we can get away with it, we don't want to be introduced.
That's not required.
I don't get away with it 100% of the time, but I've gotten better at it. And no, because me and my credentials and stuff are not. They're not important, and two, you never know when something that will be said that gets one or more people in the room more stuck. And just through a lot of experience, we learned that. So we don't need more stock ever.
Nope.
we're, we're not in the business of getting people more
There's
stuff.
enough in the room already. Most
With
of the
that
time.
in mind, Phil, though, we should hire ourselves out to get teams stuck because
Yeah.
we know really how to get them good
Yeah.
stuck.
If you want to get your team really stuck, we can show you how.
Show us, let us in the door, and we can
Right.
show you how. Most of the time, though, people do that inadvertently. They don't mean to. I'm not saying people are.
No, they're well-meaning. Yeah.
They're well-meaning, but they're well-meaning and they get people stuck.
Right.
Phil and I are well-meaning, and we really, 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 really endeavor to get people loosened up and creative and having fun and figuring out how to get a successful workplace. And success always has two prongs. You're getting the widgets done and
Yep.
you're getting the social done.
You're having connections. Right.
Right. If you're getting one done and not the other, it's not successful. It just is not. So anyway, that's it. That's how we're talking about gossip, and gossip is very important.
Yes.
And you want to be, I think, I dare say, most of the people I've ever worked with going in the more stuck teams. If you said gossip is okay, the boss would be, "Oh my God, no, no,
Yeah.
no."
Maybe
You
making
can't.
a face in the back of the room.
Because so now you got people sneaking around gossiping.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You want to have people to get out, be flexible, and have fun. And they can. People can. Boy, you get this stuff going, this shared purpose stuff going that's up on the board. Sky's the limit.
It'll take off. Oh, they'll take off with it. Oh, yeah.
Really take off and do some really creative, cool stuff. And that's why we do this. Why? Because when it takes off, we go, cool.
Right.
We get our jollies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really a lot of fun to pull this off. And of course, what we're trying to teach you, by the way, in the course is like where you can almost guarantee that when you walk in, you're on the runway taking off to that.
Right. You know where you want to go. You know what the outcome is going to look like for you. Right.
You see it coming. You see the people interacting. You see it. And then once you get that established, you can do follow-ups with them if they want. Keep it going. Yeah. Well, fun stuff. It's a whole lot of fun. Keep it up. So that's our thing. Go gossiping and get your team unstuck and moving again. I guess the answer to that is let people gossip.
Early and often.
Yeah, set up an environment that lets people gossip.
Yes.
That's what language is for, I love to say this, according to the internet. But what is the internet? It's not much of gossip.
Really?
Why do they always ask for comments?
Yep. And likes.
And then you get your
shares.
Shares and all. This is all about gossip, really. Gossiping, the good gossip, is what you want. Because the internet, then the cynics get in, and paranoids and everything. Anything humans get a hold of tends to look like humans, which is why AI looks a lot like a human. People created it. Phil and I don't use any AI on this doing this. That would be silly. Absolutely silly. Nope. Well, you're not going to replace what we do with AI. It ain't going to happen.
And you wouldn't want to.
No, you would not want to. Once AI starts asking you who's important to you, get worried.
Yeah. Then your amygdala should start pinging off at that point.
So anyway, folks, we've done enough damage for today. We'll be back. We'll come up with something else.
Oh yeah.
More gossip, but other stuff to talk about. Stuff that And then we'll do this, turns into a video, and then Phil will pull,
We'll whip up some pithy little pieces from it, then you'll see it up on
and
the
we'll
social
do
media
that.
here and
We'll
there.
keep plugging away, keep having fun. All of you keep having fun
Yeah,
as
and
we
keep
do this.
gossiping. Keep gossiping.
This is December the 4th, right? So
Yeah,
we're in the holiday season.
you are there.
So happy holidays to all, whatever holidays you got coming.
Whatever you celebrate.
I think pretty well everybody's got New Year's coming.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter where you're from. New Year's is coming. So at least that one. There's all kinds of other ones this time of year. So have fun, and we will and sign up.
oh yeah,
Doesn't cost you a thing, and if you never buy, that's fine.
yeah. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Same to you. Jennifer's wishing us happy
Oh
holidays.
no, what did Jennifer say?
She said, "Happy holidays, Kevin and Phil."
Oh, thank you.
Jazz as well.
He
Good to
gives
see
us
you guys.
hearts. Dez is a cool person.
Hey.
He does his work. So here we go.
Yeah.
Anything else, Phil?
No, we'll be back with more probably next week.
Probably. Unless something happens and we don't,
Well, yeah.
then it'd be the following week.
There you go.
we, we, we try to be pretty relaxed about all this, folks.
Yeah.
It works better that way. Bye bye.
Yeah.